which article is it that says that one media is just another part of media?
Well, Chetler, he says one medium's content is always other media. Film and radio constitute the content of television. Records and tapes, the content of radio. Silent films and audio tapes, that of cinema. Text, telephone, and telegram, that of the primary medium, not media. I feel like what they're saying is that it's not the way that it's produced or the way that it's sent out to people that listen to it. It's just what the meaning is behind it, what you're trying to convey to other people.
And even how limited, he even talks about how limited that always is. I think there's a part where he talks about the imagination and how you can only describe what goes on in your imagination in terms of one filter, which is language, words, whatever language you're speaking in. If you're writing it or if you're just verbalizing it, you're still forced to take in an infinite amount of ideas, and they're automatically filtered through language. That is one medium. So that's the most basic way of starting. Then anything that utilizes words or symbols to represent larger ideas, that's already using that first medium, So there's no 0 point, really. You can't start from nothing.
Yeah, the interesting part was that, we saw where the pencil was the only medium. It was the universal medium of its time. And then it spread off into all of these other aspects that we have now. And now it seems like everything's coming back to being one medium as opposed to multiple different ways of getting your object across.
So how is the iPhone like the pencil? Kind of, no?
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue against that or for that, but I mean, Killer says in the whole thing that he just talks about writing the whole time, and he talks about how writing is he just breaks down how writing is on so many different levels, and he almost takes it to like a philosophical level, just about the pencil and writing itself. And I mean, you could say that the iPhone is in a sense a writing utensil because it does so many things that writing does, because all writing is, like you mentioned earlier and like we talked about in class last week, is it's inscription, because you're inscribing something and you're writing something, so you're recording something. And so on a phone you could be recording a conversation which you could actually write on an email, or you can write a letter to somebody, or text messaging and everything like that. But at the same time, I mean, you have writing where you could write on a piece of paper, or you could type a letter on a computer, which is still a form of writing. But I mean, all the uses of the iPhone, it doesn't really have like a word processor that actually write. You can text messages like that, right? So you don't have multi-acting So, but with the iPhone, you have so many access to doing so many other different things that is writing even needed? You could even ask that.
It's not only just about writing, though. He's saying, I think, that everything is, in a way, a symbol. In order for a human being to even grasp a concept, an idea, there has to be a symbol, a stigma associated with it that's been passed down since the idea of language came about 1 million years ago. So
yeah,
he is talking on a really philosophical level. I think that's why that article it's hard to work with, because he's talking about something very abstract, and yet it applies every day to everyday life.